Hey, if you like this content, subscribe. Okay, it is here. We have the Echoes bosses for leagues. This is a 16, you can't really see it, I'm blocking the timestamp, but it's like a 17-minute video. I'm going to be reacting to this and giving my thoughts on it as we go along. This is the first look. It was just released 40 minutes ago. Echo bosses across Gielinor. So you could see the title, Unleashing Echo Bosses Across Gielinor, Leagues 5 Raging Echoes. Let's get into it. I'm excited. Let's see what this is all about.
November the 27th marks a very special day. The launch of Leagues 5 Raging Echoes. I'm Fremennick and I make a lot of Leagues related content.
It's true. This is a YouTuber who also makes Leagues videos if you're interested in that.
But today, Jagex have entrusted me to deliver some really exciting news about this upcoming league. If you've been living under a rock for the last 4 years, you might not know what a league is, so let me quickly explain. Raging Echoes League is a temporary game mode spanning 8 weeks with boosted XP rates, drop rates, and passive buffs. Everyone will be playing under Iron Man game rules, but with a twist. You start locked only to Misthalin and Kourend and have the ability to unlock 3 further regions, including the new region of Varlamore this time. How do you unlock regions exactly? Well, I'm glad you asked. League tasks are the name of the game and range from defeating that first poor goblin you come across to chopping your first tree all the way up to end game raids. Trust me when I say that the dopamine of ticking off task after task and seeing that pop up never gets old. And you'll be able to unlock your first, second, and third regions by completing a certain number of tasks. And that's not all, because completing league tasks also rewards you with league points, and these are important. Upon reaching certain league point thresholds, you'll be able to unlock relics. These are powerful, permanent buffs to your character that alter a gameplay style of your choice. Want to instantly process and bank items you gather? No problem. Have you got an excess amount of GP and want to use that to train prayer? It's possible. I think you get the picture, so let me tell you all why I'm really here today. In line with the titular theme of Leagues 5, Echo bosses are a new feature. These are powerful variants of existing bosses with beefed up hit points and added mechanics for a fresh challenge.
Very curious specifically on the added mechanics. That's really what's going to make this league's experience a bit different when it comes to these Echo bosses.
More importantly though, they drop new, never before seen items. There's 1 Echo boss per region, excluding the starting regions of Misthalin and Kourend, so don't panic, you won't have to deal with Jad spawning a set of more Jads that spawn a set of more Jads.
You know, it would be funny if Zuck was an Echo boss.
That spawn a set of more Jads. You get the idea. To access an Echo boss, you'll need to beat the regular version of that boss. And in doing so, there's a chance that that boss will drop an Echo Orb.
Oh, okay. So for those of you who have done Desert Treasure 2 on the main game and know of the 4 Desert Treasure 2 bosses, this includes Vardorvis, Whisperer, Leviathan, and Duke, you would know that there's a chance to receive an Awakener's Orb, which fights basically souped up version of the original with additional mechanics. So it looks like we're going to have our own Awakener orb type of thing in leagues with these Echo orbs, and they are going to be for these specific bosses per region. We already know that Calphite Queen is an Echo boss for the desert, so I'm curious what they're going to announce here, and if we'll know the drop rates for this, because it will be a bit cringe to kill like 100 of the normal boss and get like 1 orb. So I hope that they're quite generous with these orbs. We'll have to see.
These are region specific and can be used to permanently access the Echo version of that region.
Oh, it's a permanent unlock. So with Awakener's Orbs, it's a one-time consumable use per Awakened boss encounter, but this is just like a straight up unlock. You could fight the Echo boss whenever you get this. Okay, that's pretty neat.
Boss. Now, I'm not going to spoil what each one of these new challenges have in store for you, but let me take you on a grand tour around Gielinor for a sneak peek at the new exciting drops from these Echo bosses. Oh, and if you happen to have planned any of your league's region choices ahead of now, then get ready to have those plans turned upside down and
Please don't be shit for Varlamore. Please.
your mind truly blown, because this is going to change everything. Alright, the first stop on our tour is the Kourend Desert.
Cowfight
Just
Queen.
southwest of the Shanty Pass and deep underground is the Cowfight Lair. The Cowfight Queen resides in the depths and will award any challengers who can defeat its Echo variant with a chance to obtain
We gotta talk about how
and
this
will
looks
award
like.
any challengers who can
with
defeat
leagues-
its Echo.
With leagues, there's going to be cosmetic rewards in the main game, and they're going to look like this for Virtus robes too. This looks pretty sick. Specifically, I wonder what they mean by elite. Like, are they going by the combat tier system of like elite, master, and grandmaster? Because then Cowfight Queen isn't going to be really that difficult. But yep, I guess they'll talk more about it. Because I'm just not really sure what they mean by elite difficulty. It doesn't mean much to me.
Echo variant with a chance to obtain a powerful ranged weapon befitting of the desert's characteristics. The Drygore Blowpipe.
See you later, Zulrah. So it looks like you get like a little moth cocoon thing as a blowpipe. Okay. I can dig it. Maybe, hopefully it'll be 2-tick. I really like the idea of a fast weapon, so I am hoping to see fast weapons for this. So it's good to see a blowpipe.
Just like its toxic variant, the Drygore Blowpipe uses darts for ammunition, which are conveniently unlocked for fletching after completing the Tourist Trap quest. The Drygore Blowpipe is incredibly fast and
I'm not gonna lie, it looks goofy as hell, but yeah, everything they said makes sense so far.
accurate, working like a ranged version of the Osmumten's Fang. Its built-in passive rolls for accuracy twice before taking the highest result, all while attacking at a lightning 2-tick attack speed. I can think of some key.
So that's pretty wild. It's basically like the way that Fang works in the main game, Osmumten's Fang, on the desert region, conveniently enough too, is you get 2 accuracy rolls for every hit, and then if one passes, then you get a hit off. It's basically as if you were going to hit a 0, and then your next hit hits something, and you combine both of those things together. So this blowpipe, every 2 ticks, you'll be doing like basically an accuracy check every tick, because you'll attack with the blowpipe. It's every 2 ticks. Every hit, you'll get 2 accuracy rolls. So it's as if you're checking for accuracy every game tick. So yeah, that's pretty powerful, to say the least.
Desert enthusiasts who will be very happy with a strong ranged option that will make light work of most of the desert denizens. Next, we're headed to
The thing is that, like, I'm having trouble thinking of where this could be useful. This could be useful at Leviathan for sure. So you got that. It could be good at Zabak. It could be good at Baba, depending on the masteries, unironically enough, depending on the raid level too. Akka Praise, Kefri, it probably won't be good at. Maybe you'll have like some Karis effect attached to it. I doubt it. So I don't know. I can only really think of like using that blowpipe for the desert. I mean for specifically also Cowfight Queen. So Cowfight Queen, Leviathan, and Zebek are the only things I could think of in the desert where you would be using this blowpipe. So it could be a bit, yeah, I'm having trouble thinking of anything else. It could be a bit underwhelming for its use case in the desert, but this could have ramifications if you were to pick other regions that are more susceptible to ranged weaponry, like Zulrah, I guess.
region of Asgarnia. And for this one, we're gonna need 91 Slayer and a Hellhound Slayer task,
Cerberus.
because we're headed deep into the Tavali dungeon to find everyone's favorite hell puppy, Cerberus. If you're
Now, I might be taking Asgarnia. Cerberus, for me, is a really boring fight, so I don't know, we'll have to see like what the reward is.
lucky enough to obtain the Asgarnia Echo Orb, you'll no
Master.
longer need a Slayer task to fight the Echo variant of Cerberus. Now, have you
Now, not needing a Slayer task is pretty clutch, not gonna lie. It really sucks having to grind away at Slayer for a specific task, for sure.
ever wondered what it would be like if you could forge all of the God Swords into one? Well, Echo Cerberus makes that a reality, as it'll have a chance to drop the Dog Sword.
That's a hilarious concept. What? Are you guys seeing these hilts? It's like the AGS, the Sarah hilt, Ancient hilt, Bandos hilt. Is there a Zami hilt? I don't see it, but like, I presume it's in there. So what will that even look like? You spec like with an AGS and you heal, and you're getting the blood effect, and you're getting a freeze effect, and you're getting defense reduction. Pretty goated, honestly. Like for the entire league's experience, that's a pretty goated weapon. Also, I forgot to mention in my Varlamore review that Tenactic of Ralos is a thing, so it's like a ranged dragon warhammer. But like shit, you don't need Zaya if you're going for a defense reduction weapon like this. It's pretty neat.
Whoever came up with that name is a genius. For 50% of your special attack energy, the Dog Sword will hit a target and apply every single God Sword effect. Freezing, healing, reducing defenses, increased accuracy, and even more damage. The Dog Sword does it all. And who knows, if you're lucky enough to pair this with a relic that enhances your special...
I was about to say, like, if you get a special attack relic, then this will go ultra hard in the paint. It might even be fun just to make a separate account specifically to maximize this weapon's utility.
Special attacks, this has some insane potential. Let me talk to you guys about the wilderness. It's sprawling with bosses, all suitable candidates for an Echo variant, but there is one boss here that has stood the test of time, and you can find it just west of the lava maze. The King Black Dragon. There aren't any requirements to access this boss, so grab your anti-dragonfire shields because this Echo variant can drop not one, but 2 Echo items. The Thunder Kopesh and the Thousand Dragon Ward.
Yo, even if... Okay. If these don't make it into the main game, can we at least get cosmetics for existing items? Because these designs are really cool. It would be such a shame to let them just like only be used for 2 months in leagues. It would be cool to see these as cosmetics as well.
Thunder Kopesh is a powerful sickle-shaped slashing sword, imbued with the power of thunder and lightning. When attacking with the Thunder Kopesh, you'll have a 20% chance to summon a lightning bolt. This deals area of effect damage in a 3x3 area around your target, especially useful for getting through groups of monsters quickly. The Kopesh's special attack takes this effect one step further, and for 50% of your special attack energy, you'll quickly attack twice. If either of those hits are successful, an additional lightning bolt is summoned for up to 100% of the original attack's max hit. This weapon is insanely strong, and even does full damage against the corporeal.
The full damage against Corp is pretty sick, but is this like a Fortic weapon? Because it seems like it's okay. Like it's pretty good, don't get me wrong, but like compared to the Dog Sword we just saw, like, yeah, it's no comparison, I think.
Beast. But before I get carried away, let me tell you guys about the Thousand Dragon Ward. Strong attack bonus.
Let's see what we got here. Yo, so for those of you that are not picking Asgarnia, you're missing out on the Defender. Even if you have Theater of Blood unlocked, you won't be able to attach the Avernic Hill to anything. This thing is just straight up better by a long shot. Look at this. It has like somewhere up here. Yeah, it has 12 melee strength. That's 3 max hits, and then it has all the attack bonuses for all styles. You are just permanently wearing the shield, so you don't even have to switch for anything if you're like using different sets of gear, like for PVM, melee, range, you're going to be using this shield every single time. That's a really good shield. Special effects grants immunity to status effects, including poison, everything. So you're immune to all status effects, so you don't even have to train Herblore for like anti-venoms and whatever, all that stuff. You don't need a Serp Helm from Zilra either, or Lunars for cure poison. You're just big chillin'. This is a huge utility item. Honestly, just this shield alone probably puts Wilderness as like one of the top picks as well for a starting region. Like this shield has permanent, like you're just always going to be using this shield. Anytime you're not using a two-handed raid weapon, you're always using this shield.
With more melee strength than a defender, and some beefy defensive bonuses to round it off. But what really makes the Thousand Dragon Ward special is its passive effect. While wielding the Thousand Dragon Ward, you will be immune to pretty much all negative status effects. Dragonfire, Desert Heat, Poison, Venom, and many, many more. These 2 items combined are making the Wilderness look extremely promising this year. Wildy good. Next, we're headed into Morytania, and
honestly though, the blade compared to the ward seems not as like I look at that and I'm like, yo, ward all the way. I'm not even thinking about the blade. The ward by itself is just super goated.
I hope you all remembered that I asked you to get 75 Slayer and a Gargoyle task for this one, because we'll need a Brittle Key for where we're going. On the roof of the Slayer Tower are the grotesque guardians. If you can get a hold of the
I just gotta keep commenting. Like the skins for all these monsters are they're so cool. The color palette's really nice. Good choice.
Morytania Echo Orb, you won't need a Slayer task to access this Echo variant. And if you're good enough to come out on top, there's a chance you'll be able to bag yourself the Gloves of the Damned. As far as their stats go...
Okay. So we gotta talk about Ferocious Gloves, Zerite Van Braces, and Tormented Bracelet. If these are just souped up barrel gloves, then you won't need so for Tormented Bracelets you need Kandarin. For Ferocious Gloves you need Fremnick plus Zaya, I think. And then for or maybe I'm messing up the Fremnick, but I think you need 2 regions for Hydro Gloves. And then for Zerite Van Braces you need Nex. So not only Asgarnia, but you need to also get to Nex and kill Nex for Zerite Van Braces. If you're picking Morytania, specifically to get these gloves, you might not need to consider all that damage bonus from the other regions, which will allow you more versatility. One of the main issues with leagues that I see people have is that they feel like they have to commit to one region just because of bonus effects for whatever style they're going for or whatever playstyle they're going for. So these gloves are really cool for the whole experience of leagues. We're going to see what they do, but I just want to point out that a design choice like this basically frees you to picking other regions that you otherwise would not be as incentivized to pick. But because you have the power of these gloves, you might be more willing to do so.
So they're just as strong as Barrow's gloves, which is very fitting for its extremely powerful passive effect. While equipped, the Gloves of the Damned double the effectiveness of all Barrow set effects and additional set effects provided when wearing an Amulet of the Damned. And luckily for us, the gloves act as if you have an Amulet of the Damned equipped, meaning every set of Barrows gets turned into an absolute powerhouse with these gloves. Arim's set gains a 50% chance of combat spells dealing 60% more.
Yo, so you're telling me if you pick Morytania, you're not even going to consider Theater of Blood? Because like this is basically like Barrow's completionist for the whole thing. Like you'll just use barrels everywhere. Like what do you mean? No, hold up. That's like a lot. I'm curious to see if Darrox gets double damage to where you're hitting 200s. It might be GG's.
More damage. The Carol set becomes a machine gun with a 50% chance to hit a target twice.
That's so good.
And the infamous
so like these gloves alone are just like knocking Varlamore's Perilous Moons out the water, because we'll have to see what Varlamore brings. But yeah, the reason why I was so hype about Varlamore is because I'm really curious what the set effects will do in from Perilous Moons, but these are just like completely overshadowing them.
Darroch set is going to be capable of dealing up to 194% bonus damage when at 1 HP. So grab your spades and get digging. The Fremennick region is our next stop, and while
that's crazy, but they also didn't talk about Torags because it's like useless as a special attack. The Verax special attacks can hit through prayer, so that's going to be pretty funny. Like using Verax at a TOA when there's like protect melee on wardens or something like that. That I'm curious if that'll work. That'll be really funny to see. And I can't really think off the top of my head what else has pray melee attached to it. But yeah, I'm curious what the other effects also do. And then Guttons will heal you a lot as well, so you won't be needing to rely on Blood Furies and stuff. But it's you're missing out on a lot of DPS, so I don't think you'd be using Guttons that much.
There aren't any requirements to get to our destination, you'll want to be prepared with at least some overhead prayers and a pet rock. Or, you know, a friend. That'll work. On the 6th level of the Waterbirth Island dungeon are the Dagonoth Kings. Each of the Dagonoth Kings uses a different attack style, so this won't be an easy...
This is going to be a hard encounter, not gonna lie. For those of you that are more of the casuals when it comes to like PVM skill, where you're not like going hard in the paint and solo raids and stuff, the fact that these all have 3 different combat styles that they can attack you with, this is going to be very difficult for your average player.
Challenge. But by defeating the Echo variants, you'll have a chance to get the 2 best pieces of jewelry that Leagues 5 has to offer. The Amulet of the Monarchs and the Emperor Ring. Both of these pieces...
Okay, I gotta point out that because this is in Fremnick, as the Fremnick region, you have access to some of the Desert Treasure 2 bosses that you'll most likely have at least one, which means that you'll be able to make the full ring like the Desert Treasure 2 ring to respective of what you have unlocked, which competes with the Emperor ring. So that's like a bit of a minus for Fremnick just because this ring exists, but let's see what they're about.
Pieces of jewelry provide incredible stat bonuses. Attack, defense, prayer bonus, melee and range strength, and of course a huge amount of magic damage as well.
Yo, not to be overlooked, the prayer bonus on this, plus 10, it's basically like you're equipping a Ring of Suffering imbued when you have both of these equipped. Also, the defensive stats are wild. This league's going to be based around like Echo items. It's just so busted compared to literally anything else you can get in the regions. The attack bonuses are also just gigantic. So imagine you have both these jewelries and a ward from the wilderness. Like, you are super busted. Anything you use is going to be like absolutely cracked for DPS. And the melee strengths are ridiculous too. You get almost 4 max hits each for like each piece of jewelry, and then range strength also goes hard in the paint. The magic damage percent is 10, just like the occult. So this is like pre-souped up occult, but now we have magic damage on robes as well. So it's going to be very nice. And the Emperor ring is like the tormented bracelet, but for the ring slot, actually this is like 2.5 times better than the Magus ring.
Well, these two items really are a jack of all trades and make Fremennick the perfect support region to pair with whatever else you're cooking up. Now, who laughed at me when I said Fremennick was going to be S tier this year? Yeah, I thought so. The king.
Look, the thing is though that it is like a minus that you have access to create the full Desert Treasure 2 rings, but you are going to have the Emperor ring to completely replace any ring that you could possibly get with the Fremnick region. That's a bit of an L. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that, but that is like the only drawback here.
Kingdom of Tirannwn. This place has historically been known as an especially strong region for magic users. And that's not about to change anytime soon. Just southwest of Castle Wars is the Smoke Devil dungeon, and you'll be able to take on the thermonuclear Smoke Devil here once you have 93 Slayer and a Smoke Devil task. But just like—
By the way, with the previous region, it's free. It's not free. It's really easy to access the Echo bosses. But with this region and for Asgarnia, you need like 91, 93 Slayer. It's not exactly like so easy to get that high of a Slayer level, especially if you won't be able to choose your tasks. We don't know yet if there will be a relic that lets you do that. But yeah, the requirements are pretty high, you know? So the dog sword was like an extremely high utility reward. So I imagine because this is an even higher Slayer level requirement, that it should also give you something promising.
Like the other Slayer bosses, the Echo variant does not require you to have a Slayer task once you obtain the Kandarin Orb. This Echo variant of Thermi has a chance to drop an offhand item that allows you to tune into the elements of the world and exploit weaknesses like never before. The Devil's Element. This neat little incense burning looking thing provides some generous magic accuracy.
Let's see what we got. 20 magic accuracy is okay, and 6% magic strength is alright. 3 prayer bonus is pretty cool too. It's slightly better than a fortified Eldennis ward for magic damage, and for, I think, attack it might even be worse or just about the same. No defenses. Important to note, there's no defenses attached to this.
6% magic damage boost and some prayer bonus on top. But the real magic behind the Devil's Element is its passive ability to harness the power of the elements. While equipped, the Devil's Element counts as any elemental rune, and it will allow you to double the effectiveness of any elemental weaknesses exploited. There are a ton of fun bosses across Gelenor with an elemental weakness which are going to be even more prominent with this item, and may even open some different strategies for you to try. In the previous league, the Tumcan Shadow was everyone's favorite magic item, but this will definitely close the gap for other elemental staffs like the Nightmare Staff to stand at the very top alongside it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that's... Okay, maybe this is one of those sleeper weapons, but I feel like it's very underwhelming compared to everything else. The real promise I see with it is if you go and grind out the Harmonized Orb and Nightmare Staff from the Nightmare, you would also need Morytania in order to get that. Plus, you would have to kill Fosani's Nightmare, which was buffed up in the last leagues to where it like literally one taps you. So, I mean, best of luck, you know. But if you are able to successfully grind for that staff and you pair it with this lantern thing or an incense burner, then you could have huge potential for some areas of the game. The reason I say this is because like Kefri's weakness, for example, at a higher tier invocation, like 400, 500 tier, really falls off and fire, and it has a super high magic defense. You probably won't be hitting. Maybe you'll be hitting with the combat masteries in leagues, but I just have like a bad taste from elemental stuff right now when it comes to higher, a later stage PVM in the main game. So the fact that this doesn't stand alone as like the super cool thing to have, it is a bit underwhelming, yeah. So I feel like this has to be paired with other stuff in order to make it good. But maybe the effectiveness of the accuracy portion of an elemental weakness makes it good for things that you wouldn't normally use it for. So like fire spells at Araxor or fire spells at Kefri. Maybe. We'll have to see in practice. Hopefully someone will pick it and be able to tell us. It probably won't be me because I am very skeptical about it. It's not something that I think I'll go for.
A little further to the west is the beautiful green area of Tirannwn. Okay, maybe it's not all beautiful, and for this region's Echo variant, you'll be taking a trip into the heart of Prifddinas to take on the Gauntlet. If you're up for the challenge, you'll need to tackle the corrupt...
Bro, no way they did that! So they have Echo bosses for like freaking the thermonuclear smoke devil. And they want the Echo boss to be Corrupted Gauntlet? Corrupted Gauntlet is already like a very difficult encounter for most people to do, and now they want to make it harder? Okay, bro, I'm not so sure about this. The combat masteries are going to have to be like really out there to trivialize Corrupted Gauntlet for them to add an Echo variant on top of it.
Gauntlet for a chance at the Tirannwn Echo Orb, which, once obtained, allows you to instantly skip the Gauntlet's preparation phase.
Okay.
As should you choose to fight the Echo variant, you'll be geared with a generous Gauntlet setup. This allows you to
Bofa is on the table. Bofa is on the table. So they found a way to make it so that it justifies the Echo boss being here by completely giving you the works and being able to go to the boss straight away. That's a very good trade-off.
Jump straight into the action with the Echo variant of the Hunllef. If you're lucky while fighting this Echo boss, you'll be able to get your hands on the Crystal Blessing. In addition to providing a big boost to prayer bonus, the Crystal Blessing harnesses the power of the Crystal Armor, allowing its accuracy and damage bonuses to be applied to all melee weapons.
That's busted. That is busted. Honestly, Tribrid. That's what I think of first. When I think of this, now I'm looking at Tirannwn as you go here specifically for CG so that you don't have to grind armor pieces anywhere else because you'll always be using Crystal in any content you do. So that's very compelling, honestly. So imagine for full Missouri or Torva, I can't speak because it's just so exciting. For full Torva, you would need to kill Bandos and then Nex and then get the whole set. For full Missouri fortified, you would need 2 regions, have to get the Missouri and the Armadillo pieces to fortify it. And for magic, you just like do your thing, I guess. You just get any robes. But this will just take out all those grinds, including magic robes. Probably, I think. Well, maybe not, depending on damage magic percentage. But maybe it amplifies whatever weapon you have. So maybe even it has a considerable impact on magic. So yeah, this is going to be goated with the sauce for a lot of your armor replacements. You won't have to think about helm, body, or legs for your entire league's experience if you choose to open up with Tirannwn.
While equipped. For those who aren't all familiar with this gear, a full set of crystal armor will give you a combined 30% accuracy and 15% damage bonus. I can definitely think of a few weapons I'd like to try this out with, but I'll leave the experimenting up to you guys. What do you think would pair well with this?
Like, imagine 15% damage on the scythe. Bruh. Plus combat masteries, like, it's over. What are we saying? 15% damage on the blowpipe and 30% accuracy? Like, you already have access to the blowpipe too. It's gonna go stupid. So before, in the previous leagues, I had zero interest in Tirannwn. I think I'll just make a second account just to be able to play with Tirannwn and this armor set in particular. I'll probably be making 3 accounts maybe just to test all the echo bosses because I'm just very curious, and I'll be streaming it so you can see it as well. But it probably won't be my first account that I'll go with for Tirannwn, but this is a very, very compelling reward set.
Across the sea is the kingdom of Great Kourend. This massive landscape.
Also, you notice how they're saving Varlamore for last? I'm just saying.
Has a lot of great content to get stuck into, but for this next Echo variant, we'll be traveling to the Farming Guild. At level 65 farming, you'll be able to enter the intermediate tier of the Farming Guild. And after planting and watching your Hespori seed grow into a giant angry plant, you'll be able to fight it, and defeating it will guarantee you the
Okay, I am going to assume that you will have a permanent Hespori plant after you get it. Please.
Kourend Echo Orb. Obtaining this will allow you to fight Echo Hespori whenever you want, not requiring you to wait for a seed to grow. Befitting a piece of living nature.
By the way, if it gives farming XP, this is 200 mil farming. Probably. I don't even think that's that much of an exaggeration. This will probably give you all the farming tasks for XP that you would need in leagues.
The Echo version of Hespori has a chance to drop the Nature's Reprisal, a tribrid weapon capable of using all 3 combat styles. And what I love about this weapon the most is that even the melee option
this shit looks so funny, but I love it.
Is a projectile, allowing you to slap on your best suit of armor and attack with melee from a distance. Now, you will need to charge Nature's Reprisal with 1 Nature Rune and 5 Earth Runes per charge, but you'll be rewarded with its incredibly versatile stats. These are absolutely no joke, and I'm expecting—
Yo, these are crazy, but no, these are just crazy. It's 4 tick. It's a 4 tick weapon. Let's not forget that we just saw the previous set effect from Crystal being the 15% extra damage, like on top of this. Yo, this could be crazy. This is good. Yeah, this could be potentially really crazy. Oh man, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of potential here in this league. Can use all 3 combat styles. Magic base hit is some amount, charged with nature and earth runes, and nature and earth runes are not particularly difficult to get. All the stats look pretty good. The magic attack goes hard. The range attack goes stupid as well, so you won't need like a bow of HEREDIT, that sort of thing. The stab goes pretty hard too. Like, pretty solid. Like, it kind of gives a different spin on Corrupted Gauntlet, because before you would go for the Bofa, but now it seems like you're really just going for the armor set and getting these type of things instead.
Expecting total chaos from this item. Grab your tree trunks, we're going to the Chambers of Xeric with this one. The final stop on our tour today takes us to the Shining Kingdom of Varlamore. The new—
I predicted it would be either Amaxiato or Huikoto. Let's see.
Newest region in Leagues 5 with so many fun pieces of content to try out if you haven't already managed to do so. If you've been here before, then you'll know where I'm stood right now. The Fortis Colosseum.
No way. Okay, so I thought there was no shot they were going to do it for Colosseum. I thought there was 0 shot, because Colosseum is arguably the hardest content in the main game right now. And I was thinking, like, what could they possibly put as an Echo Boss? Because each wave has like different enemies. Are they going to put it on Manticore or Minotaur? If they put it on Soul HEREDIT, the final boss of the Colosseum, bro, best of luck, okay? Hopefully the masteries like make up, because I don't know what else they could possibly put this on.
Colosseum, one of old school RuneScape's toughest challenges, and who better to
no shot. Yo, okay, tune into the stream. I'm pretty good at the Colosseum. I could give you advice. If you don't get 100% drop rate either for the orb from this dude, like, this is a tough one. This is a tough one.
Test your league prowess than an Echo version of Soul HEREDIT himself. Now, you'll be glad to know that this works a little differently to the other bosses.
Also, for all of you that were complaining about endgame content for Varlamore not being a thing, here you go. This is the reason.
And that by beating all of the Colosseum waves and Soul HEREDIT, you will guarantee yourself the Varlamore Echo Orb drop.
Okay,
this
so
will allow you to
guaranteed.
skip the Colosseum.
So you only have to do the Colosseum one time.
Colosseum waves to take on the Echo variant of Sol whenever you want. This fight will take you to your absolute limit.
Grandmaster difficulty. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, this is gonna be a really difficult encounter. Keep in mind, some of the other regions, you just have to fight DKs, or you just have to fight, like, King Black Dragon or Thermonuclear Smoke Devil. This is, like, the hardest boss.
But if you have what it takes to defeat Echo Sol, then you will have earned a chance to take the Titan's items for yourself. Introducing the Sunlight Spear and the Sunlit Bracers.
Okay.
The Sunlight Spear is a
Okay, so it's the spear and the shield?
two-handed weapon, boasting some generous defensive stats and an insane...
I'm just saying, I'm gonna be going hard as fuck in TOA for the desert region because this is a stab weapon. Okay, it's done so. Plus, look at the defenses on this thing; it's pretty massive. It has a 5-tick speed similar to a Fang as well. It has +1 range bonus. It's kind of weird. And then its strength is pretty high. I'm curious what the passive will be.
Amount of melee strength for those big numbers we all know and love. But there is so much more to this weapon. Attacking with the Sunlight Spear grants you a stack of sunlight, up to a maximum of 20 stacks. And this is where the weapon's special attack comes in. Using the special attack will consume 7 sunlight stacks, releasing the built-up energy and hitting every target around you within a 3-tile radius. What's even more impressive about this special attack is that the damage is increased per point of prayer bonus that you have.
This is... Oh, wait, what was the one that gave 10 prayer bonus? Was it Fremennick? Oh shit, I might have to just stack up Fremennick for my account progression. I had no desire to take Fremennick this time around on my main, but like getting 20 extra prayer bonus from those DK Echo rewards? Bruh.
Good job, the damage is increased per point of prayer bonus that...
So it's per point. I assume it's like percent based as well. I will have to see.
Good job, the Colosseum might just give you something to help with boosting that. The Sunlight Bracers provide powerful utility through their strong stats, but more importantly, their passive ability, which increases all healing you receive by 100%. Sharks go from healing 20 to 40, and just one Ceradamin brew can heal as much as 128 hit points.
It sounds cool, but I don't think it's that useful.
And there are a ton of other ways to heal in old school RuneScape, making this item incredibly versatile no matter what regions you're thinking of going. There are 100%.
I was just curious what it's worse than Barrow's gloves, so I was like, okay, well maybe this will be just good for Barrow's, but it has 4 range strength. Oh, so actually these are a great replacement for Zerite Van Braces. They don't have any magic percent, by the way. So yeah, these are basically your best in slot range gloves. I'm pretty sure they just straight up outclassed Zerite Van Braces.
Sharks go from healing 20 to 40, and just one Ceradamin brew can heal as much as 128 hit points. And there are a ton of other ways to heal in old school RuneScape, making this item incredibly versatile no matter what regions you're thinking of going for. I think it's safe to say that Varlamore is shaping up to be an incredibly exciting new region to this league. And that concludes our tour of the Echo bosses for League's 5 Raging Echoes.
I'm glad personally that I don't have to do like Huey Kodo or Amoxiato. I was really not looking forward to those because they're just boring encounters. So yeah, this is really good. I might even... maybe it'll let me skip Perilous Moons. I'm not too sure. Let's check out the blog though in particular and see if they have updated it at all. Okay, so we don't know what the mechanics will be of each of these bosses, but yeah, it's basically the video that we just went over. So that's pretty dope. This is super lit. There's a bunch of different opportunities here. I already gave you guys my thoughts on all this. I'm curious what your thoughts are. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We will be continuing to go over more leagues reveals. This is fun stuff. See you later.